Okay, welcome back to the automated channel and a very good morning. We are at 6? It's 10 a.m. here in Shenzhen. So a very bright early morning Saturday. Bring all the greatest and latest news around the AI world to you. So looking forward to it with the world's largest cup of coffee here, ready to do that. And we've got a lot of news today, a lot of things happening, which is a great thing for everyone that's interested in AI news and just generally in tech as well. So thank you again for all the subscribers, 173. Just to let you know, we're letting members come in actually at this period, our launch period from August 5th. We're only going to run this for a limited amount of time for 20% off for new annual subscribers. So definitely get in there at theautomated.co/upgrade for this limited time. I'm excited to have you on board. We would not be here if it weren't for our members. So thank you very much, members, for actually being part of this. And thank you, Automators, for actually being part of this channel and exciting news and rebrand and launch. So, all right, let's get started. There's a lot to do today. All right, first off, we've got the main news of the day today. And we've got ChatGPT. Well, I'm a big ChatGPT user, right? This is kind of the tried and true for me. So for ChatGPT users, today is your day. It's completely removing limits on text-based chat for every single user on ChatGPT. This comes right as the platform officially crossed the mind-boggling 1 billion weekly active user mark. So basically, the brand new GPT 5.6 Luna model, is becoming the default engine for free and Go users, while replacing the older GPT 5.5 model. And now you can type away until your fingers fall off without getting hit by that annoying, you've hit your free daily limit cooldown timer. So basically, both free and Go accounts are getting a dedicated think button unless you intentionally dial up higher reasoning power for extra tricky questions and separate usage. Limits still apply for file uploads, image attachment, voice mode, and image generation. So it sounds like basically, if I take a step back, what we're doing here is that this auto messages thing is a thing of the past. It's still tiered for different things, right? So image generation is still tiered and whatever it may be, but otherwise it doesn't kind of reset for you and kind of gives a default experience. And if it needs higher reasoning power, it goes to that model. And yes, there are caps there, but otherwise the basic stuff is there available for you, which is great, right? Because then you're there all the time, which is absolutely good. Thank you very much, ChatGPT. All right, so then we've got our next news, and that is some virus thing. So AI designed brand new viruses, and it's time to say that's both amazing and terrifying that AI is designing these viruses. So the groundbreaking study published in the prestigious journal Science revealed that researchers relied on a specialized AI architecture to design synthetic viruses from scratch, then successfully brought them to life inside a lab. So this is from the Palo Alto's ARC Institute in Stanford University. The secret weapon was not ChatGPT, Claude, or even Gemini. They deployed a specialized genomic foundation model called EVO, which is trained to process genetic sequences rather than human words. And so it digested trillions of genetic building blocks until it learned the language of life itself. Mind-boggling 700,000 potential new viral designs. 16, the results were astonishing. 16 of EVO's completely manufactured viruses successfully came to life and functioned as intended. And several of these AI-engineered phages were actually more efficient at reproducing than the natural virus they were modeled after. In short, AI did not copy nature, it actually optimized this. And so we get back and we say generally the bottom line is it's no longer AI is not just LLMs or writing human essays. It's actually can do something like this in real life as well. And so, we've been, as an investor, actually putting my hat on and actually looking for drug discovery through AI as well. Some of the hottest startups, I believe, as last year was just drug discovery like this, whether it's through patents, it's through crawling through different data sources. I forgot some of them, I think, were journals as well. So this was just a continuation of that as well. So it is rather exciting that something like this is good. It has potentially both good and bad aspects, right? So you can actually hear of viruses. Viruses generally have a negative connotation, but it also means good viruses as well. So it has both good, positive, and negative connotations as well. The biohacking space, the bio AI space is incredibly important, not just interesting, but important. So look forward to more of this stuff coming forward. Okay, all right. I think this is it for the main news. Let's move on to the next section. All right, so now we head into the around the AI block section. We're pretty busy today as well. So let's just see if I get all the screenshots right. So first up, we have the AI models can now behave like computer viruses, study finds. Now, this is a Tech Buzz article. So Chinese researchers demonstrate AI models can spread in depth like malware. Remarkably similar to computer viruses and worms. Spreading autonomously, adapting to environments, and evading detection. The findings published this week reveal a threat vector that cybersecurity experts have long feared, but never quite have seen materialize until now as AI agents become more autonomous and widespread across enterprise systems. The research suggests we're entering an era where malware doesn't just use AI, it is AI. And so what happened here, the team showed AI models exhibiting classic virus behavior, autonomous propagation, environmental adaptation, and the evasion tactics that evolve in real time. Okay, just gonna scan this. Some research argue the threat is overblown. Let's just kind of take a step back as well. After all, deploying a functioning AI worm in the wild would require overcoming significant technical hurdles. But that's what people just said about ransomware a decade ago and about AI-generated deepfakes 5 years ago. So, interesting stuff. It is inevitable as well. I don't know how OpenAI hacked Hugging Face. I don't know how Kimi got loose. I don't know how Facebook got loose. But I do think that it probably got loose by exhibiting like malware, by copying some of those kind of aspects, right? So it is interesting that it's there. I'm not surprised that it's copying that type of behavior because that stuff is what kind of gets propagated across the internet, right? Very, very well. So, again, malware, negative connotation, but generally this makes sense. And this is just kind of really AI just doing its thing. So unfortunately, it is what it is there. But definitely, I think that's kind of why I emphasize a lot, right? Just be careful in how you do different things, right? On the internet. We're moving toward a phase where AI is incredibly intuitive, maybe interested in your profile, maybe not interested in your profile, but you really have to protect yourself. That's the most important thing. We cannot put the genie back in the bottle with AI crawling the internet. So you just have to look out for yourself. That's really kind of what I would advocate, really. Okay, all right, moving on. Next article. Where did we go? That did not work. All right, secret code words that scammers hate. Now, this is a BBC article, and deepfake scams might use your voice, but they don't know what's in your head. 5 minutes of preparation could save your loved ones from falling for fraud. This is kind of what I'm talking about, protecting yourself. Even though there's deepfakes in AI, protecting yourself. So, AI is so good now that you can no longer trust your senses, and criminals are perpetrating scams like these and a massive scam. These were the specific example from the BBC on voice. So your family just needs a code word that you use to verify each other's identity in a crisis. The scammer might have your voice, but they don't know your secrets. So the experts and victims say this is the single most important thing you can do to stay safe, right? So you can actually use this code word in between family members to know it's actually the real family member, right? Speaking and not just some deepfake in AI. And it kind of goes into like what a code word is and that type of thing. I mean, it sounds like this is kind of a spy thriller, right? And it might be a bit overboard. But having said that, this is kind of the world that we live in. Like I said before, right? We need to protect ourselves. And if that means code words, unfortunately, that means code words. So again, it is what it is. That's the world in which we live in now, unfortunately, and that's where we are. All right, so next one, OpenAI. This is the news that everybody is alight on X about. So what is actually OpenAI doing, right, with its hardware lineup? We weren't sure Johnny Ive was on there, so we're not really sure. And then, you know, Meta and Gemini and Google was grabbing headlines on AI. What was OpenAI actually doing? So we found out that their new hardware device is likely going to be an AI smart speaker selling for about $300 to $400. The physical manifestation of ChatGPT. The device will be donut-shaped, designed thusly to allow users to carry it around their home and place it in different locations, like a bedside table or kitchen counter. High quality metal, have a premium look, and will have distinct moving parts. Okay, all right. Let's see. That's all it has right now. Does it have a release date? It does not. Okay, no release date as of right now. Look, I don't know. I thought it was like a physical device like here, right? That's kind of what the Shenzhen guys were saying, that this was going to happen, like a physical device. Here they can carry around the world. Now it's at home. Let's see. Let's see what becomes of it. Love to see how it looks. It is Johnny Ive. The design must be good. It must be something you can use and you love and you want to cherish this. And you want to, this is a big move, right? First kind of AI LM to cross so many consumer users. This must be a device that is loved. So I think it will be loved. I think it will be interesting. It'll be something very similar like an Apple where it is loved. And the device is done very, very well. But will people fork over money for it? $300 to $400? That's a lot. Will you be a part of that? Don't know. But let us know in the comment section below if you decide to actually buy this device and why you would. So let us know. All right. Next news. Oops. F. We are on to F. I need to keep track of these now. So we are talking about AI matchmaking. Gen Z dating apps like Ditto ditch swiping in favor of AI matchmaking. So this generation of 20-somethings are so disillusioned with swipe-based dating apps like Tinder and Hinge that they'll try literally everything else and anything else, even an AI matchmaker. After dropping it at UC Berkeley, Ditto co-founders Alan Wang and Eric Liu set out to build something that will help their peers connect without having to spend hours each week navigating the messiness of apps like Tinder and Hinge. What happened to real-life dating? I mean, that's generally how it works, I think. Obviously, I know you do this on platform first, and then you go on to real life. So instead of a typical app, college students can now sign up for Ditto by messaging a certain iMessage number, then with the code, and then, right, and then it kind of gives you that thing, and you start a conversation. Ditto algorithm tries to match people not based on similar hobbies and interests, but rather what those hobbies and interests say about who someone is. If there's this guy and he's really into rock climbing, skydiving, outdoor sports, and this girl, she's into hip hop, streetwear, and skateboarding, then even those hobbies don't look similar. I can take it deeper down. They're both very adventurous. Maybe they're very individualistic. Okay, all right. Ditto has 150,000 signups and matching 20% of the matchings go on dates. Cool. All right. So who's funded it? That's always the thing. $9.2 million in seed funding to work with investors from Gradient, Peak 15, and Scribble. All right. I mean, look, tried and true, right? People getting on data apps. I've seen this evolution before, or seen this wave, but it's pretty interesting that we're using AI now. It's much more convenient. Look, I don't have anything, to add or to poo-poo about, because the more people dating, the better it is. I'm a big fan. I used to advise a fertility company. Big fan of actually dates, relationships, creating relationships, making families, having families, especially the male side, to actually have families and take responsibility for it. So more power to that. More dating, go ahead. I think that's a great thing. Go on dates. That's incredibly important thing. That's a good thing. More dating works for everybody. All right, moving on. We are going to Suno. Suno, BBC article, I believe, over here. Suno is adding audio watermarks. So AI generated songs are more easily identifiable. Suno will now Gadget article, will set new download limits to prevent mass distribution of songs and combat fraud. The AI music generator Suno has announced it will start watermarking songs created on its platform and amid a number of legal battles, increasing pressure from the music industry. So new transparency tools will include some sort of labeling system that shows people if a song has been generated on Suno when it appears on another platform. I see. So it's kind of a watermarking and attribution system. Yes. But AI generated to be traced back to its origin. Okay. Yeah, interesting. I don't know what's more interesting. It's the AI generated stuff, which is what Suno is doing, or the watermarking kind of attribution system. More attribution system is good. I think that's great. Better for artists as well. So fantastic thing. Nothing to complain about. I do think that it is interesting there. Suno, keep doing your thing. That is inevitably an interesting thing as well. All right, moving on. We are doing the one TechBuzz article. AI botches 74% of security patches in 1Password study. So what does that mean? I saw this article, I wasn't quite sure. New research reveals AI tools fail to properly fix software vulnerabilities 3/4 of the time. So AI-powered tools fail to properly patch software vulnerabilities 74% of the time, failure rate that sends shock waves through an industry racing to automate cybersecurity operations. So the 1Password, the password management company, says that basically when you use AI tools, that near 3 out of 4 attempts result in incomplete or incorrect fixes. Okay, and it kind of goes on, blah, blah, blah. It's a wake-up call for industry. Okay, we can move on here. Because we covered this yesterday as well. We're saying that basically the human touch is still important and necessary for these critical fixes. Now that we actually have a number, 74%, right? But inevitably, it is important. Human fixes are important. AI won't fix it as well. Look, I'm sure it's going to get better over the time, right? So it won't be 74%, it'll be 80% or 90%. It won't fix it. It won't fix it. 74%, botches 74. So it'll get lower, right? So 50%, 30%. But still, I do think in that time, there's still a job for you, cybersecurity guys. So good thing there's a role for humans. Awesome thing. All right, what are we at now? I believe we are here. Yes, Reuters article, again, through a paywall. So let's see. Alibaba plans to charge big users on its Nexus AI model for share their revenue. So I think this is kind of the counterpoint to this, right? Is really kind of where the step back here. Open weight models were for free, and now Alibaba is asking money for it. It's inevitable. I think some of the free users, you can be free, just like ChatGPT, and the bigger ones, the high usage ones, because it's so expensive to run these models, right? That it is important to actually put that on and to charge for it. So it's inevitable that AI companies will charge for big time users. Much ado about Nothing. Okay, all right. Moving on to J. Tech Buzz article back to OpenAI again. OpenAI says Apple's own security practices undermine its trade secrets case. Oh, we're going back to the Apple case now. OpenAI's motion to dismiss Apple's trade secrets lawsuit, along with newly filed exhibits, reveals the company's defense legal strategy. Rather than focusing on whether former Apple employees working at OpenAI had assessed certain information, the AI company argues that Apple's own security practice and offboarding procedures weaken its claim that the information qualifies as legally protected trade secrets. So I think it's basically what it's saying is that it's not arguing that it leaked or it didn't leak, but actually the information itself were trade secrets. And so I guess if it's not trade secrets and you leak it, that's fine, right? Just like normal, it's normal information, not particularly trade secrets. Interesting. Defense. In its motion, OpenAI argues that Apple allowed employees to use personal iCloud accounts for work and failed to properly revoke access after they left the company. They also submitted text message records showing that an Apple manager remained logged into the personal iCloud account of the defendant and transfer files. I see. It argues that former Apple employees are simply trying to assist their prior colleagues. I see. I don't know. I don't know if I buy that. I mean, look, let's see what the judge says, right? I don't know if I buy that. You can assist your colleagues, but there's a certain point where you're not just assisting, right? You're sending trade secrets. So let's just see what actually has been sent over, right? I think that's really what the judge will say. What has been sent over, and the extent of it, right? Is it a lot? Is it a little? I think time will tell, but I think that's pretty interesting. What a defense, though. What a defense. Okay, all right, moving on. Adobe's new ChatGPT plugin brings 70 of its tools to OpenAI's chatbot. I do like ChatGPT actually doing this, right? Integrating Apple Health, where you can see your health. Now it has this tool, so OpenAI's chatbot, so you can actually integrate that. That's, I think, the great thing about ChatGPT. So it's bringing its entire suite of created apps to ChatGPT with the introduction of the Adobe plugin. So you have access to more than 70 of Adobe's tools, including Photoshop, Premiere, Acrobat, Lightroom, Illustrator, and Design. So great. Then the article goes on how you actually can do that. Cool. For, Adobe users, I think that's absolutely fantastic. And that's probably where ChatGPT, the vision of where ChatGPT is going to go, right? It's going to go that kind of the WeChat, the X, well, not X, but WeChat of everything, kind of everything app. So, or everything AI app. So I can definitely kind of see the Alexa, if you will, of everything. Cool. All right, let's go to here. Danish pupils will have to orally defend essays to combat AI. I've seen a couple of colleges do that. Government introduces several measures, including monitor of computers for pupils aged 16 to 19. Danish teenagers will have to make an oral defense of their written essays to combat AI cheating. In secondary school, they will be encouraged to do written assignments at school under controlled conditions, including monitoring of their computer screens rather than at home. Okay. The first measure to be introduced is the oral defense of exam assignments written at home. Second plan will be required to use monitoring tools to oversee how computers are being used for written exams. And the third measure is the plea for schools to encourage pupils to do more of their written exams at schools under controlled conditions. Okay. I've heard other people doing this as well. For colleges being able to do that, I think some of it makes sense. Some of it doesn't make sense because you don't have the scalability anymore. If you're Berkeley, it's not like you can actually have everybody show up, right? Logistically, it doesn't work that way. So I think it won't be a one-size solution fits all, but I definitely think that certain things, this would be critical to test the thinking skills. It's what I do with my own children, right? So how do you think about certain things? I don't want a written thing. I don't want a written thing, but I do want this follow-up on how you think about actually how to solve a particular problem or what you think is the issue. And I think that is important. So whether it's everybody that does it, some people that do it, I do think this is a pretty interesting way to do it and to prevent some of the kind of too much AIification, if you will, instead of initiatification, AIification of everything, right? I do think this is quite important and what's necessary. So good job, Denmark. Okay, all right. I think IJK. Let's see. Let's move M. Got it. We are now on M. All right, so Google Maps adds agentic features, including food ordering and hotel bookings. Good job, Google Maps. I still use Google Maps a lot. Google Maps adds, so TechCrunch article, Ask Maps on Google Maps is gaining a slew of new agentic capabilities, including the ability to order food, book hotels, or find event tickets. It's also bringing personal intelligence to Ask Maps, allowing the AI tool to personalize its responses by drawing information from a user's Gmail and Google Calendar. So, yeah, okay. Launch of the new features reflects Google's ambition to transform Google Maps from a navigation tool into a system that's capable of helping users complete world tasks. Okay, you can basically, users can open Ask Maps in Google Maps and ask a question like, where can I order vegan avocado toast and an oat milk latte near home? The tool will then surface nearby restaurants that ask what they're looking for. Okay, and the new agentic features are rolling out to users in the US. Cool, good job. I think that's pretty great. I think that's pretty interesting. Good on you, Google Maps, for doing that. Okay. All right. We are now N. Screenshot N. Android fans are now on Tech Radio. Oh, geez. Pixel. So, yesterday we reported that Android will not be available anymore. So now people are just saying Android fans are rebelling against the imminent demise of Google Assistant. Here are 5 reasons why. And so some people love it, right? I'm not a big fan, but now Gemini absolutely sucks. People don't like it. So now they might stop buying Pixel phones if they don't do that. Yeah, right? Oh, geez. I'm not going to go into each core complaints. But it seems like some people really, really love their Google Assistant, which is great. Good for you. If you like Google Assistant, more power to you. Do that. Definitely do that. More power to you. Okay. All right. I think that's enough for around the AI block, and let's move on to the next section that we have. All right, AI tutorials. We've got 2 tutorials today for you. We are at ChatGPT Voice, learn any language for free, and how to store sensitive data in HubSpot. So I've definitely used the ChatGPT Voice to learn any language for free. I've used that to be able to talk to it, translate certain things as well. And you can use it as a practice, basically partner as well. So incredibly powerful, really, really great stuff. There's more power to ChatGPT than you really, really think, right? So definitely utilize that. I used it when I was in Japan. I was translating certain things. Live, someone had a presentation, and then I just put the voice function on and just let it see what it says. So definitely incredibly important, very, very powerful. Definitely go and do that. And let us know what you think in the comment section below on those videos. Let's move on to the next section. All right, we are trending tools. All right, we headed off to trending tools here, and let us go here. So how many tools? We've got 3 tools. We got for the merch creators and e-commerce sellers, T-shirt design AI takes a quick text prompt or reference photo and turns it into print-ready design. You can instantly preview how the design sits on a garment, and you can do that. For the data-driven teams and operators, Corpus IQ links your live business apps directly to models like ChatGPT, Cloud, and Perplexity, and lets you ask complex operator questions in plain language. And for the content marketers and video producers, Wistia Remix lets you edit webinars, podcasts, and raw footage purely through conversational prompts. Simply instruct the AI on what you want, like trimming a 16-minute session, and then you can actually do a highlight reel or adding slides. Pretty cool. Ultimately, these tools, definitely give these tools a spin and let us know what you think in the comment section below. Whether you like or not, it all helps us out. All right, let's move on to the next section, the workout of the day. Okay, all right, workout of the day. We've got only one. We usually have one. This is screenshot Q. Okay, workout of the day. Use AI to find your next favorite spot. That's kind of like Google AI, right? The Google Maps AI. So the big three tools for your pocket: Google Maps plus Gemini. Google Maps is known as a conversational wingman, is what our article says. There's a massive late. You can actually say, what's the vibe inside? Why is this place so popular? And Gemini instantly scans the live data to give you tea. Perplexity AI gives you fact checker food. Instead of reading 500 conflicting reviews, scans all of them, Perplexity scans, and gives you a site summary. And Yelp Assistant gives you a menu vision. You point your phone at a physical menu and overlays photos of the dish. That's pretty cool, actually. So definitely use AI to check out your food and make a better experience for your planning, because your loved ones who you're trying to court begs you to actually do that and do a very, very good job. Let us know what you think in the WOD and your comments. All right, so I think this is it. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your attention. Hopefully you enjoyed this broadcast. We had a lot of things for you today, which is good. This is it for the first week of August 5th. This is very, very exciting. I'm going to follow up with a podcast version of actually the weekly summary of everything that's happened, a curated kind of view on what I think is important, what's not important. So definitely that's only available to members on theautomate.co. So definitely, if you're interested in that, go to theautomate.co, go to subscribe, and for free subscribers, you actually have free minutes on that, and you get to see and do a preview of what I will be talking about. But if you want the whole conversation, the whole podcast, it's available for members only. So hopefully you enjoyed this broadcast. I'll see you in our next week, in our next episodes. And again, thank you for being part of The Automated and supporting us for all the work that we do. See you in the next broadcast.